Who's there today, Jamie?
Griffen is here.
Hi, Griff. I love you.
Says hello to everybody. Behind Griffen, we have your sweet peas.
Hi, guys. Love you
There's
guys.
5 of them, and there is Conk.
Hi, Conk. I love you.
We have 3 of the football players.
Hi, guys.
We have grandfather on father's side,
Hi, Paul. Grandpa.
an uncle on father's side,
Okay.
grandmother mother's side, mother. Peggy's here today.
Hi, Peggy.
Chris, the hair with the hair,
Uh-huh.
is here.
Yeah.
And the really tall one, like that just covered it right there. The really tall Chris, is he another Chris?
Yes, and his wife loves him, and she texted me yesterday, if Chris comes, tell him I love him. Chris Gedney?
Yes.
The one that my mom loves?
Yes, she
Okay.
loves him. He's saying hello. He's saying thank you very much for the message.
Okay. She loves you, and she wanted me to tell you that, and she wants to know if you have anything to say about your kids that she needs to know, she said.
He says there's nothing urgent going on with the kids. He said they're having, the youngest one is having some like memory lapse,
She has Down syndrome, I think.
being almost afraid of not being able to hold on to a memory. And so he's suggesting to get some different photographs and change them out like every month.
Right.
And you can get just 2 sets, and one month have one set, the next month the other, and you can go back and forth.
Like fearful she'll forget you, Chris? Forget her daddy?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I get that. Totally.
He
Okay.
said, thank you.
Great idea. And she said she's not getting your report on your CTE till middle of March. But we know what it's going to say.
He's laughing. He says, that is way too long.
I
He
know,
says, I
right?
honestly don't know what they're doing with that.
Right?
He says, but that's way too long. They already have all the answers.
Right, exactly. I don't understand it either because I can tell, like, a lot of people text me that they're missing people, but she'll text me like, if you had anything important to say to her kids, she was worried about your kids, and then say she loves you. And then I said, when did you get the report yet? And she said, no, not until the middle of March. And I was like, wow. And I said, but Celie, you know what it's going to say. I mean, a beautiful man like that doesn't just take, like, we don't need the report really, but she wants it before she's going to start publicly speaking.
He respects that.
I do too. I really do too, but I told her I can tell you what the report's going to say. I should write it on a piece of paper and give it to her. Football fucked him up, and there you go.
Griffen, the end.
The end. Exactly. And is my mom there?
Yes.
I was going to say, Mom, what the hell are you?
Sorry, I said grandmother on mother's side and mom and Peggy.
Yeah.
So she's sandwiched between those ladies.
Yeah. Okay, so
Griffen said that I was sporty spice today.
Sporty Spice?
Yes.
Why did he call you? Oh, because you look so athletic.
Look at my yoga gear, I guess, and my hair is pulled back.
Yeah. Well, Griffin, I'm going to work you today.
It's funny.
I'm going to work you today because you know why? Because somebody said something and it's called the fucking. And so I'm bringing it on you. It's when your day is going well and then you don't trust it and some shit finally goes down. So there you go. So the fucking is coming in on you. Here we go.
I've never heard this.
Yeah. Okay. So Josie, I didn't get to her question last time, so let's get to her question. Would you be able to elaborate on the Cave of Creation and the Akashic Records? Jamie, correct me if I say anything wrong. I know what I'm talking about, but I can butcher words. Akashic Records and how best to access those yourself. So then I read this and I'm going to help you, Griff. I'll tutor you. Okay, so because I know you don't know and I know more than you. Okay, so the cave of creation, I was interested in this myself because I was like, okay, that's interesting, Josie. Okay, the cave of creation is a real place that will never be found on this planet. It connects and unites the physical to the spiritual and the multidimensional to the dimensional. It is a place where there are crystalline structures within a memory vault called Akashic Record. It is where your essence or your soul comes and it goes. From when you arrive on the planet to when you pass over, and it records what happened while you were here. It's the place, it's the first place you visit coming into the planet and the last place you visit leaving the planet. So you're going to have to tell me if that's true or not, because I don't hear many people talk about it. The esoteric of crystalline object for every soul that has ever been on the planet, and every soul to come. Each crystal holds a Akashic record of each specific soul. The cave of creation interfaces with Gaia through the crystalline grid. In summary, the cave of creation keeps a record of who you are as you come and you go, and it imbues your lifetime of experiences in the vibration of the planet, even after you have gone. So the okay, so what do you think about that? Okay. Do you think that's true? Does this the cave of creation, is it really the place that you come before you come here and after you leave, the first place you come?
Griffin does this.
Yeah.
It's not a machine over here. It's not that you go through a process and something starts it and you hit all these points and then you have life again. It's not a machine.
Right.
He said the best thing I heard you read was the cave of creation is a real place but will never be found. He just started laughing.
Okay.
He's like,
Okay.
what?
Right?
He said, if you can imagine the cave of creation being the dark space or the gray matter outside of your physical existence and outside of your consciousness thought within your life, and that huge space that you can imagine exists beyond all of that, he says, crunch it down and imagine it to be an extremely multidimensional place, just like Akashic Ranch. And he says, I want to talk about them separately. Akashic Ranch. That's me.
That's because I was like, Jamie,
I
that sounds
know.
like somewhere you're going or
It's
you've
somewhere I'm
been.
going. Just like the Akashic Library.
Jamie's losing it, Griff, I swear. Last time she said, I was laughing about this in bed, and I know I'm ADDing out, but she said, I've never met a cat like this. I've never had a connection to a cat like this, or whatever she said. And I was like, Jamie, you say this about every cat that you have.
I've
Like
never had a cat so
you just
kind.
love. That's not true either. See, that's not true. Whatever. Okay, back to the subject. You just love animals. I've
I
just
love all animals.
never met a kitty like this. And then you were like, you said the same thing about Bunny. And I mean, nothing against you, Bunny. I love you, Bunny. But this lady just loves animals. Like you have a love for animals. It's the best ever. Okay, the Akashic Ranch. She's losing it, Griff. Go back
I
to the
don't think I
Akashic
said the
Record.
best effort, not yet, but
Okay,
Akashic
it's
Library.
coming, I'm sure. Okay,
It's coming.
yes.
That he says that is a location that is in a different dimensional plane that holds all the information of what's happening.
You've referred to it as Babylon before in the very early beginnings of me talking to you with Jamie, like a library.
Yes.
Okay, like a
He
glass
says it
library.
has, yes, it has many names to it. And you can find yourself there, whether it is your entire soul or it's your thought, taking you there in a meditative state. You can go there remotely and you can see all of your life's threads, what you've done, what was your destiny, what were you learning, all this. It's all documented and held. And he said, we have to get over the concept of time being linear and that this library is only going to hold the history because we have not yet experienced what's in front of us. It'll have what's in front of you. Time has already happened. It's everything is in a now. Most likely when you go there, you won't have access to all the information. Don't think that you're a failure and don't think that you did something wrong. As you decided to incarnate, you don't need to be in possession of all the knowledge of who you are, past, now, future. He said it's not going to help you be a better person. It's
Thank
why
you.
you come with amnesia. It's why you come like cut, like you're just a part of the whole.
Well, my amnesia is so good, Griff, that when I read her question and in the events that have happened in the last few days, I thought I needed to up my game. And I was like, damn, there's spiritual and then there's spiritual. And then there's all kinds of different levels of spirituality. And I was like, man, I really need to up my game. But I'm
Griffin
glad you
said,
said that.
Mom, it's the same with people who are highly intellectual.
Yeah.
We have people who just went through school, like
You mean like
high
my
school.
dad? Yeah. And I
And then
can't
we have
never talk.
people who are college graduates, masters, PhDs, double PhDs. We have lifelong learners. We have people who value intellect knowledge. There are people on earth who value spiritual knowledge.
Right.
But the bottom line is that doesn't develop you any better or easier.
Okay. Can Josie like access the Akashic Records herself? Is what you're telling her?
He
Through
says, hell yeah, we
meditation?
all can.
Okay. But
He's,
you're telling her not to be disappointed if she doesn't see everything.
he said, yes.
Okay.
He said,
It,
experiences is what creates a better, yeah, he doesn't even want to use the word better.
mhm.
Experiences in life is what develops your consciousness and your spiritual muscles, your intellectual muscles, doing it, having an experience, not just learning, not
Right.
just having it. So the library is wonderful if you're accessing information of why do you keep looping back to this? Why does this left knee always hurt? Why do you always attract yourself to people who aren't available? Why do you always have short lives? Just like this questioning series. You can find the tidbits of information there, and they are embedded. And he says half the people will go in and see it written like on a scroll. Half the other people will see it in crystalline or computerized imagery or just straight downloads. Everybody's going to experience it different because it's where you are.
Right. Okay. Okay. I love that answer. I love that answer. And I think that's a deep question, Josie. Like, wow. Like,
Well, he says the cave of creation and all of this. He says, think about it like the movie screen that you see when you leave here and your life passes by. You see your life play out before you. He says that's like a different dimensional plane.
mhm.
That's what this is. But you don't necessarily go through these spaces to come to Earth to live.
Right. Because I had in my little spiritual world, I had thought like even when you're pregnant, this might get too weird, but a soul can ride side saddle before it goes in, or and so there's a lot of things, you know what I mean, that we don't
Yes,
that we're unaware of. And knowing my goofball kids, they probably didn't come in till like the last second. You know what
some
I mean?
spirits, you're right, some spirits don't get in the belly at all. They work
Right,
with the body energetically, but their soul is not emerged until the birth process.
right, right,
And some are squeezing in there right as soon as possible, like
right,
trying to get it when the cells develop and to understand what it's like to be contained and
right.
all of this. It's
And
intense.
I love asking those kind of questions because I love working you, Griff, and just seeing how far you've come makes me so proud of you. But at the same time, it always resonates in my mind how y'all got frustrated with me one time, and my mom said about time not being linear. And my mom said, "Don't worry, honey, you'll just find out the details when you get here because it's just so hard to understand."
That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
a good point. Don't wrestle with it now.
Right, because they were getting frustrated with me, I could tell, and maybe they were just loving me through it, like, "It's just too hard to understand, honey, like, it's everything you didn't pay attention to in school."
Griffin says, no, it sucks. This isn't taught in school.
Mm-mm.
Because
Mm-mm.
it'd be great if it was taught in school.
Right, right, exactly.